I realized it had just been way too long since I sat down to do get ready with me video, which is like a bread and butter YouTube sort of video. So I have to get ready for work and figured I would just throw on the camera and get ready for work with you. It's not going to be anything, you know, super exciting, but you can see some of the products that I'm currently using, and I'm sure that I'll have a few random thoughts to interject as I get ready. So I'm gonna start with the Hint Beauty Sun Prep. This is an SPF 25 sunscreen, like primer sort of product. So I take about 3 like very generous pumps of this, and you guys, this has quickly become one of my favorite products. I think it's definitely going to be in my April favorites, and I actually did a whole video review and demo of this. It was in the, I think, March detox box, which is the monthly subscription box that the Detox Market does. And I had sort of middling thoughts on it. Actually not even middling, just the performance was always great, but it was the scent that sort of bothered me. Well, I've totally just kind of gotten used to the scent. It doesn't bother me as much now because the performance is so good. It is the most user-friendly physical sunscreen product I feel like I've ever used. I still do use the Josh Rosebrook Nutrient Day Cream, the untinted one, but that one requires a little bit more babying. I just find that it'll sort of take longer to work into the skin. This is completely translucent on the skin. It doesn't make other products pill. You can see that it does sort of leave a bit of a dewy-ish plump look to the skin, but that's gonna dry down like pretty quickly. So normally I'll do this like 2 minutes before I'm gonna do my makeup. I also did the Iuna Essence Mask last night, and I realized how I hadn't done it in over a month probably because I had been so obsessed with the Orgage sheet masks. Well, those are like great, and I'm gonna have a review of them coming out, but I realized that in doing those, I had sort of been foregoing like a proper exfoliation. Like a sheet mask does not exfoliate. I mean, I guess you could argue if they have like chemical exfoliants or acids in them, but yeah, the Iuna Essence is just so amazing. So now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of foundation. This is the Fit Glow Vita Active Foundation, and I'm currently using the shade 1.5. So I'll show you my technique for how I apply this. I take maybe that much, not a ton, and I'm just gonna sort of distribute it first with my fingers, almost like you would with a tinted moisturizer. Then I like to take a foundation brush to work it in. And that's really it. It's super easy. I do have a beauty blender here that I mainly use the beauty blender for concealer, but sometimes I'll go around the face and pat the foundation in. This is the Nude Beauty Blender. I do have to say that this is like such a beauty junkie sort of thing to say. I'm just doing a little bit of the Becca Aqua Luminous Concealer in light, just a tiny bit under my eyes. I have the Pink Beauty Blender, the Black Beauty Blender, and the Nude Beauty Blender, and the nude one is my favorite. You wouldn't think that they would be that different, but how can I tell a difference? I can, and then I like the nude one the best. Do you see what a hot mess my hair looks like back here? Try and pin that up a little bit better. Okay, now I'm just going to set sort of under my eyes in T-zone with the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Trio in Dim Light is the one that I used to set under my eyes. I'm very happy to report I'm gonna show you something with this product, and it ties into the Sephora VIB sale, which I just placed my order and I actually just got the notification that it shipped. I'll try and show you what I got. I didn't have my life together enough to do like a shopping guide. I'll try and do one for the fall because I watched a couple and I find them really, really useful to do before those sales. Basically, let me just tell you quickly and then you'll see it in action. So I had in my cart for a while the Hourglass, one of their full-size bronzers. They actually have 2 travel size bronzers, but the color that I wanted was in a full-size compact, and they're $50, and I had it sitting in my cart and I was gonna do it, and then one day, like one weekend, I was just doing kind of like easy weekend makeup. I used this shade in my trio as just a straight bronzer. This is Radiant Light. And it works really well to just kind of like bronze and warm up the skin. And I was like, this is the one I probably used the least in this palette. These powders last forever. I mean, I use this one almost every single day and I haven't even hit pan on it. Don't spend $50 on a bronzer when you can totally, it's like very, very close. So I was quite proud of myself for having some beauty restraint. Okay, now I'm going to do my brows quickly, just with the Anastasia Brow Definer in medium brown, and a little bit of the Glossier Boy Brow in clear is the one I've been using lately. I have been seeing a bunch of people really like some new brow gels that are out on the market. When I started using Boy Brow, I feel like all the brow gels I had tried really were not that good. I tried the Surratt brow pomade. I mean, the Anastasia brow gel is sort of a classic, but I don't know. I had just been always very into the Boy Brow, and I still think it's great, but I guess people are saying the Hourglass brow gel is really very good. The Benefit brow gel is supposed to be really very good, but I don't use any Benefit products. Their sort of marketing really does not appeal to me at all. Some brands I just kind of like write off out of pocket. Even though I guess they can have some singularly good products. Like Tarte as a whole, I don't love their marketing platform at all. Like Rainforest of the Sea, are you kidding me? But they have some great products. Like I love their mascara, I love their under eye corrector, so. By the time you see this video, this will have already happened live, but this month, instead of doing a live stream Get Ready With Me, which is what I do every month on Patreon, I did a Get Unready With Me live stream. So they are reposted for people at that patron level if they can't be there live. So every month there's an hour-long either Get Ready With Me or Get Unready With Me that I record live through the streaming platform on YouTube, just to like a private link that only people that have it can access. So I think that there are, I want to say 3 Get Ready With Me, live Get Ready With Me's on Patreon, and now 1 Get Unready With Me. I was gonna just do my typical winged liner look, but I wanted to do a little bit of a berry lip, even though it's gonna like clash with my nails, but oh well. I can't seem to paint my nails anything other than the 2 Isla polishes I have. So I'm gonna show you, if I'm not doing a winged liner, this is sort of the eye look that I do. It's super, super easy, but I feel like it just kind of like brightens them up and gives them a little definition. I'm gonna curl my lashes first with the Surratt lash curler. Then what I like to do is take a little bit of my K. Weiss Radiance highlight, and I just pat this on the center of my lids very, very lightly. I take like literally the smallest amount. I just sort of touch my finger to it. I have seen other people sort of talk about and use this, and I think that perhaps they've changed the formula of this, because the formula that I have, and this product is about 2+ years old, it's still good, but it's very glittery. It has chunky pieces of glitter in it, and I don't think that the newer ones have that same glittery problem. So I'm a little loath to use this product on my face, but it actually works very nicely, just sort of pressed into the lid. It looks super pretty behind mascara. It's very dry, so I like that as someone that has oily eyelids. Having a bit of a drier cream product, A, makes it last longer, and B, not that it actually could crease if you put too much of this all over the lid, but I find that just a very small amount pressed into the center of my lid is very, very nice and pretty. Now I'm just gonna tightline my upper waterline with the Trish McAvoy Intense Gel Eyeliner. I'll alternate between this and the Antonym liner, but if this is kind of the star of my eyelining show, as it is going to be today, I tend to go for this because it's very long lasting. And I like black to tightline with, but you could also do navy or brown. I do both of those sometimes as well. And then I am someone that needs a little bit of definition on my lower lashes, I feel like. So one of my favorite products for that is Gressa Obscure. I just take a little bit on a soft pencil brush. This is the Wayne Goss 05, I believe. And now we're going to add 2 coats of the Fit Glow mascara. Truthfully, if I'm not doing winged liner, this is not my favorite mascara to use because I get a lot of transferring upon application just because of the brush. It's not really the product, but these sort of big, this is, as you can see, it's one of these big sort of fluffy pine cone shaped wands. Very similar in my opinion to something like Benefit Bad Gal. It's just the construction of this sort of brush lends itself to transferring on my eyelids, unfortunately. I do quite like this mascara. You know, I do find it to be quite dry, but if you work quickly and really work on pressing the product into the lashes, I think you can get a good result. The problem is when I press too hard, my lashes will hit against my lid and I get transfer. But that's 2 coats, and I do think it gives a very, very pretty effect. So I'm kind of willing to deal with a little bit of these application imperfections. Also, because of the shape of the wand, it's not symmetrical. So ideally you would want to not go like this, but you would want to flip the wand and go like this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's a little more awkward for me to do it like this. So then I'll switch and do like this. You can see I already got a little transfer. When I'm wearing liquid liner, it's not as big of a deal because if I tend to get the mascara transferring onto my lid, it's kind of right around the lash line. So the liquid liner will sort of hide whatever mascara transfers onto the lid. The liner will hide, yeah, is that what I said? This mascara wears very well on me throughout the day. I don't get flaking, I don't get smudging. It's quite easy to remove with an oil-based makeup remover or just a straight oil. So overall, I do really like it. The brush is not the best for lower lash line work, and it does sort of, the mascara has claims of being like lash boosting, lash enhancing, good for lash health, and I'm not sure I've noticed necessarily any difference in like the quality of my lashes, but yeah, I guess that's kind of what I have to say about it. Okay, now to finish the face, we're gonna do sort of a minimal but fresh and pretty technique that I really like. I'm first gonna lay down a little bit of the Tata Harper Very Highlighting Cream Highlighter, like kind of all over my cheeks and cheekbones. I kind of want a little bit of like a dewy base that the Hourglass powder is going to adhere to. I have no issue layering powders over creams. I don't follow any of those rules. Sometimes you can get a little bit of a patchy powder application, but with something as finely milled as the Hourglass powders, I don't find it to be an issue at all. And the Tata Harper is really so subtle that it's a really nice product to do this with. I would never do it with something like the K or Weiss. You would just have glitter like all over your face. The key in this might also be the brush. I have just found that using natural bristle brushes, I believe this is a squirrel hair brush. It's a Chikuhodo cheek and highlight brush. It just gives really pretty face application, much more than synthetic brushes. So I just kind of like do both of these, actually, these 2 Hourglass powders. And I feel that this color is actually really quite pigmented. So if I'm going to be doing a little bit of a bolder lip, I like to just kind of have a little bit of color on the face, but not too much. So for me, this is perfect. Now we're really like ripping through this at a good pace. I'm very pleased. Now I'm going to do my lips, and I want to do just sort of a fuchsia stain. So I'm going to use my new Bite Beauty Quince. This is my Second one of these, I used one all the way up. I did an Instagram post. It was just so noteworthy for me to finish up a bold lip product. I will say the formula is slightly different of these high pigment pencils, which I think that they're discontinuing. Bite is sort of annoying, right? Like they discontinue all of their formulas and like introduce stuff you don't like as much, like the amuse-bouche. I really don't like that lipstick formula. But I'm glad that I got another one of these, even though the formula is slightly drier. My old one was much creamier for the entire duration that I had it, but the color is the same, the wearability is the same. It's really a very minor difference. So if you can get your hands on any of the high pigment pencils, this like part of my hair really drives me crazy, then I would recommend, because I do really like it. First gonna do a little bit of lining with MAC Beat lip liner, and then I'm gonna do just sort of a stain technique where I really work this into the lips and blot, and we're gonna finish off with a tiny bit of the Vapor Velvet Gloss in the shade Harmony, just to kind of, because what I feel like when I'm doing a stain can really dry out the look of the lips, and then I like to just add a tiny bit of moisture back. It's gonna look really pretty, you'll see. So I ended up just doing one layer of the high pigment pencil, and I worked it in with my fingers and blotted it a bunch and then added a tiny bit of the gloss. Could definitely be built up a lot. I mean, as you saw, the color is more subdued from when I just applied that one swipe, and I like to sort of tone it down like this for during the day. I'm just gonna do a final little spritz with the Josie Maran Nirvana Mist. I had a good comment from my friend Susie, who bought this on my recommendation. She said that she likes it but finds that she coughs when she applies it, and I totally get what she means, because the mist is so fine. If you are inhaling when you spray it around your face, you're going to inhale some of the mist and cough. So my solution is to just be conscious of that and not breathe when I'm applying it, or like walk out of, spray it and then like turn my face and then breathe, and that'll sort of alleviate some of the coughing that you might get if you inhale some of the mist. And I think that's just an issue if you're misting anything very fine around you and breathing. This is it. I'm about to go to work. It's going to be the warmest day of the week here, almost 70 degrees. I'm excited for a little bit of sun, even though I am a vampire. It has been a long winter, and it's been sort of an unpleasant April too. We've just had a lot of like cold rain and stuff. So I think that that's all from me. I do want to let you guys know that I'm not sure I'm going to have a video up next Sunday. I am going to be away out of town 2 weekends in a row, which I have not had the time to pre-film that much to get something up. I may be able to, I may try and cobble something together if I can, but please forgive me if you don't see me in your subscription feed next Sunday. I really try. I mean, I pretty much always get something up on Sunday, but there's lots of archived videos if you're new to my channel. There's a lot of bonus content over on Patreon if you would like to see some L'Amour that you haven't seen and you're not already on there. So I think that those are all my announcements for today. Thank you so much for getting ready with me. I love doing a good makeup video. If you have any video ideas, suggestions, recommendations, product recommendations, or just feel like saying hi to me in the comments, I would love it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys, if not next Sunday, then for sure the Sunday after. Bye.